What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Rev Report. Today we'll be reviewing the 2023 all-new G87 BMW M2. We'll be looking at its interior, exterior, special features, exhaust note and driving dynamics. Stay tuned. So coming through the exterior, obviously, as you've heard from various sources, this design, as like all other new BMWs, is pretty controversial, but luckily with the M2 they've kept the standard sized kidney grills, not the oversized big piglet style grills that the M3 and M4 have. We have also, this is in black sapphire metallic, by the way, so it does cover this this neutrally colored front lip. So these would normally be colored, this would not be colored, so it hides that effect that a lot of people have complained about. It also hides a lot of imperfections, such as this plastic bit for the front sensors, and also it just I reckon makes it more classic BMW like. Apart from the headlights definitely, they have those, just the one signature instead of the double angel eyes that old BMWs have had originally. Also, you can tell it's more prominent in its design. Like, you can tell it's more boxy, and it's definitely got more width than the previous M2. Also, this one, as with the new 2023 M cars, they've got the signature anniversary edition logo. Coming to the side, we've also got 19-inch alloy wheels. They're not forged, by the way, and 20 inches at the rear. So it looks like these come with Pirelli P0 tires as standard, not Michelin's like the previous model M2 competition. This also comes with 6-piston brake calipers at the front and 4-piston at the rear. You've got these really nice looking side skirts as well, rocker panels, and this really beautiful wide rear arch as well, and the signature Hofmeister kink for the rear window. You've got these old style classic door handles as well, not the pull to open. And then you've got the signature side mirrors that the old competition models have as well. Coming to the rear, as you can see, it's got a pretty nice looking exhaust setup here with the 4 quad tailpipes. You've also got this duck spoiler here, and then going to the top, you've got a carbon fiber roof. This one's got the carbon fiber roof, not the sunroof. And yeah, pretty much that's the exterior, and you've got this bulging bonnet as well, which is pretty nice. We'll just show you the engine bay as well, because obviously this car is all about the engine and its performance. Just a sneak peek of the interior. You've got the red M buttons, configurable drive modes. I reckon the door close sound isn't as solid as the previous M2. So in this beast, you've got the S58 BMW M engine that comes in the M3 and M4 G80 models. You've got 338 kilowatts and 550 Newton meters in this car. So it's a little bit detuned compared to the M3 and M4. You've also got this nice bracing setup here as well. The bars, not as nice as the previous F Series M cars, but it is still something. It's more edgy, just like the rest of this car. And this specific model, it's rear-wheel drive, as all M2s are. It is rear-wheel drive. It's sending the rear wheels power via an 8-speed automatic ZF gearbox torque converter, or a 6-speed manual. So you do you. Obviously, us car enthusiasts know what to pick. But yeah. So this specific model does come with the ZF 8-speed gearbox torque converter. This is more smooth and daily drivable compared to the 7-speed MDCT gearbox, dual clutch gearbox. Now we'll show you how it sounds like. Surprisingly, there's not at all any burbles or crackles from this exhaust, probably because it's still cold or it just started up. But yeah, we shall see when we take it for a spin. Moving on to the interior. So jumping into the interior of the new M2, it's definitely got some more pizzazz, some more luxe compared to the old one. So you've got these really nice looking, definitely usable armrests on the driver's side whilst you're holding the steering wheel. So it's definitely usable here. It's got this nice ledge or sill next to the window. You've got these nicely appointed aluminium door handles, along with this lovely leather stitched door handle here. You've also got the M colors here, signature on each door panel, and you've got this nice pattern here. So this one doesn't light up, so it is only on the M240i or the 2 series, non M2. Also, you've got here this huge touchscreen, just like every other modern vehicle you can see these days. It's got the AC controls here. Honestly, it's not as snappy as the old system. It's definitely got some lag, so like when I'm touching it, it feels like it's so heavy to touch. It feels like I'm just like cycling through a 50 kilo conveyor belt or something. It's just not as smooth as, or not as responsive or snappy as the old system. And you've also got here the configurable instrument cluster, so you can configure it using the switches here through this here. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. No, that's cycling through the radio. But yeah, you can configure the instrument cluster through this button here, as you can see. And you've got a heads-up display new to the M2 as well. You've got your light switch here, your lighting gears here. Obviously, this car comes with your standard active lane keep assist, active cruise control. Now, the old M2 competition did not come with that, so this one does. It's got more features, safety features, so it is definitely more drivable. You've got these plastic paddle shifters. They're definitely not as solid feeling as the old M2. You've got these nice buttons though. Now we've got the crackles. Yep. So I guess the trick was to put it in one of the M modes, or it's just because it's been on for a little while now. And you've got a glove box here, obviously. This carbon fiber trimming here, it's glossy carbon fiber trimming, so it's not as special looking as the old M2 competition where it had the actual exposed look carbon fiber. And you've also got the Harman Kardon sound system, so it should be a pretty good sound system. In this car, you've got these M2 seats. They're not the upgraded seats, they're just the normal leather seats, not the racing ones. You do have, however, really nice comfortable seats. They're very plush to sit in. They just make you like semi-sink in, like Napa leather seats. And you've also got this nice colors on the seat as well, so the blue and the red, reminiscent of the M colors as you'd expect. And you've also got the same seat belts as the M2 competition, so that's a nice touch. But definitely it feels more techy in here. You know, you've got this plethora of like capacitive buttons. It's not, you know, it's not true buttons, which I don't like. And you've got a standard handbrake, so it is something that has definitely changed compared to the old M2. And you've got the gear settings here as well, so you've got the gear modes that you want in here as well. Let's turn off the M mode, and yeah, all your iClimate controls are in here. So however, what this car has to offer technology wise that's pretty nice compared to other cars is you've got a drift analyzer. So if you go through, if we go to the settings of this car, so if we go to the apps, and then you go to, there's that drift analyzer, there we go. So you can analyze your drift when you're drifting around the racetrack. It's pretty cool. We shall go back to the apps. You've also got the lap timer, so you've got your track assistant as well. What I do like about the settings, however, if we go back into apps, live vehicle, that's it. You can actually play around with the car. So it's so cool. Oh, you can even zoom it in. Full gives you a 3D view of the car, which is so fun to just play around with. But yeah, it's a pretty nifty infotainment. I did say though it's quite laggy, so I wish that they gave it more processing power so that it does handle like it's a brand new iPhone 13 Pro Max or 14 Pro Max. So moving into the back seat, honestly this has less headroom than the old M2. My head is literally touching the ceiling. Like I can't really make myself comfortable unless I firmly push my head against the ceiling, as you can see. So I'm 5'6", and it's not really that, it's pretty tight back here. But you do have this pass-through, which is handy to fit your arm here, but you don't have any cup holders, so it's merely a pass-through. Otherwise, like foot space is okay to decent. It's not as good as the old one because this is pretty like set forward. It's not to my height. But yeah, back here it's, oh, you've also got speakers here. So they've got extra speakers in this M2 now. They've got speakers here and they've got speakers at the back. I feel like those ones would be smaller than the old M2s though. So they fitted smaller tweeters at the back and speakers at the front, at the rear sides as well. And keep in mind, this car is made in Mexico. It's not made in Germany anymore. So it could be an issue quality wise or down the line, but otherwise so far so good. It doesn't sound like there were any rattles or squeaks when we were driving down to get here. So yeah, but it did feel more comfortable and it felt way more refined, as you'll see in the driving. You've also got a decent amount of boot space in this car. It's pretty similar, I'd say, just first glance compared to the old M2, but I will put the liters in the video now. So yeah, we shall take you for a spin of the new M2 because this is what it's all about. So now into the driving. Yeah, it's definitely got some punch, and the gearbox is way smoother than the old one. But it does still sound pretty good when it does change gears. It sounds good throughout. It's not just like in first or second like in the previous one. But then again, it's still not as raw feeling as the old one. But it is quick. For a rear-wheel drive car, it definitely has some pickup and go. It definitely has a lot of traction. Probably to do with that bigger wheel setup and wider wheels as well. So it's just more grip that can be had there. We'll just go through some back roads as well. Still got that M2 feel, you know. You've still got the traditional rear-wheel drive small coupe setup. Obviously you have less weight above your head as well because it is the carbon fiber roof, so it definitely feels more composed in that aspect. When you're going around bends, it feels just more, you know, more willing to go around those bends. And you've got those little burbles that are going on as well in the M1 mode. So you can definitely have fun in this car, I can say. It is more digitized, I reckon. It's like the extra modern M2. The suspension definitely feels more composed compared to the old car. I believe this is adaptive as well. So you've got adaptive suspension, adaptive steering, and you can also change the braking feel as well. It's currently on comfort mode, and obviously the engine as well. can't seem to notice any sound coming through the speakers as well. So I believe that BMW have changed that because they've realized that obviously this car is meant for a sporting or a race car enthusiast customer instead of a comfort oriented customer, which is what the 5 Series and the 7 Series are for. Well, yeah, that cop car just went right past me as well. I reckon they definitely saw this car and wanted to suss out if I'm still behaving, which I was in that case. I reckon the M2, driving this, the new M2, it's more matured, but it's still got its playful character, which is hectic. And what this car would offer that's different to its rivals is obviously rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, a 6-cylinder instead of a 4-cylinder. So, and obviously it's a 2-door and it's not a hatchback or a sedan. So you've got all those features. It's pretty much a compact C63, the 205 with the V8 C63, and it's pretty much a mini-sized M3. So you get all this car for the same money as an A45S or something. So it's definitely worth it. So we've come to the end of our review of this stunning BMW M2 G87. Thank you to MacArthur BMW for allowing me to test drive and review this car for you guys. I really appreciate it. And as always, please like, comment your thoughts and subscribe, and I'll hope to catch you all in the next video. Cheers!